We are ready to go. Let's get some hype in chat. Let's get it on. Let's switch over.
Hello, Blackbeard.
Oh my god. Okay, thank you. We apologize for that one. No, Mike's Damo.
It's
Damo.
great to see that we're not the only ones who are super excited for tonight. These boys who have just obviously purchased their first microphone, still working out that there is an ear volume setting that
there is
damage your ears. They found that setting.
Here we go.
We're geared up for Consulate, ladies and gentlemen. An absolute favourite map between myself and AussieBlacBeard. So very keen to see what the lads can throw down. And of course, what bands are they going to throw down? Are we going to look at a Clash? Are we going to look at an Echo? Are we going to look at a default Thatcher or Jackal? They're just some of the hard-stuck gold strategies that I like to come up with. So very keen to see what these boys are going to be able to throw down. I know King was streaming a bit earlier, and when I say a bit earlier, I think he was live for like 4 hours streaming with his boys. So I feel that these guys are warm, they're ready, and they want to catch themselves a fat dub and secure a spot in the upper brackets. Now, of course, as we said bands, and as I said Jackal and Thatcher, Thatcher is of course the first ban off the map. Now that takes the EMPs off the board. Not a huge issue, being that there is a number of operators that can counter that, i.e. a Kali or a Maverick. Thatcher not now destroying that utility, rather disabling it, so not a huge change there. And of course we go for the Jackal ban. So, you know, and Aussie, you can weigh in on this thought right here.
Yeah.
The first thing I'm seeing is default bans.
Default, very default. Jackal, Thatcher. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Mirror, an Echo, or a Melusi in their comfort bands. It's very generic these days. And there you go.
You are literally stealing it straight out of their playbook, mate. The Mirror ban comes out as well. So when I look at this lineup, it's a very default set of bans, and something that you can definitely work around. You know, okay, Jackal does remove the ability to track those roamers. However, you can put a Nomad on the board, and you've instantly cut off that roamability, I guess, for them to be able to circle up behind you. I do like the Valkyrie ban, though.
I do like the Valk ban.
I will tip my hat to Yes Chef and the boys, because that is a smart ban. That's going to remove a lot of that intel for the attacking team. The defending team. So a very, very clever ban, and I'm keen to see how this plays out for the boys. Yeah.
Now, as we see them picking their ops, Vigil, always good to see a Vigil on. Never mind, taken over by the Maestro. Bandit on Consulate, kind of a weird pick. Jaeger, Mute, Melusi, decent default picks. What about attackers? What do you reckon they're dark? What are we looking at here?
I like this lineup. I mean, they're picking Constable and Meeting as the first site, so I think this makes sense from a lineup point of view. They've got the Bandit, they've got the Mute as well. I mean, Arcade may have replaced that, but the Electric Denial really is going to come down to maybe like a Yellow Wall, or
maybe,
or even
defenders protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
I guess where you would see that, but they've got the Mute as well, so to have a Bandit and a Mute combined, I think this makes total sense. Having the Jaeger as well, the ADSs, the Melusi from the Melusi mines, I think the attackers have got to come out for them. I like that T Woodman got the armor along as well. It's an operator that, you know, sitting at home watching a lot of PL myself, it's an operator that I've seen a lot of these teams in Pro League start to utilize a lot more, being that she's essentially a free roaming drone. So I'm keen to see what T Woodman can do with her and her ability.
Yeah.
Do we seriously have a Vigil that's...
No.
Check the Vigil. Okay.
Is it Vigil? Is it Vigil?
Attackers are moving to defuse the bomb.
I swear, if this is Nexus that has done that, if he has done that...
Nexus, mate! What have you done?
Can I blow myself up? He's gonna have to blow himself up. That's ridiculous. Yeah.
Oh god.
See, as much as we try for these teams to give them all this transparency, they still go and do it. They still go and do it. I just, honest to God. We're not even 5 minutes into the first game. I just don't even get it. Now that's the Ash off the board as well. So So Brown Bag's unfortunately unable to do the Ash Rush. We're going to count the Vigil out, so it's a 4v4. And I swear to God, if he comes in with another skin, the man's out of the game in contention. This is insane. As he goes and destroys himself and levels the playing field, now in a 4v4. Sophia pushing up on server stairs and is already starting to breach into Office and into Billiards. Oh my lord, the Bandit swings wide, takes Sophia down to about a quarter health, so it's quarter on quarter. The Bandit and King are going to town as King's got a, sorry, Damo rather, has got a horrible angle, a disgusting angle onto server stairs, which is what I like to see. Hades, of course, bringing in the Sledge. Interesting pick being there up top. Obviously, Sledge would be great for that vertical control. Being that they're at the top of the level, there's not going to be a huge amount that Sledge can do from that sense, apart from maybe open up some rotates and ensure that no one is roaming down below. And Noid playing it smart, not having the Jackal on has brought the Nomad, as we were talking before in their prep phase, makes total sense that they're able to cut off those rotations into from behind. Now, as Malusi Jaeger gets dropped down in the connector, and that's from T. Woodman, utilising the ARX 200 perfectly from Bobby Yellow Stairs. King with the LMG on Sophia taking out KD. Now, that's a KG rather. And now a 4v2. Damo scores himself a double kill out of nowhere as well. The man's on the board and here to game. King is down, but he does have withstand. So as is Sophia, he is able to pick himself up. So not a huge issue for Hades. He will have another team member to play with as he takes out those cameras and sorts himself out. We're still in a 2v2 with 33 seconds left in the first round. At this point in time, this is anyone's game. The Ella charges go off, or the Sophia charges, apologies, would rather go off. It's from the lifeline. Hades gets swung on out of nowhere. Damo's on a warpath at the moment with a triple kill. King's holding those angles. He's unable to take out the Bandits.
Oh.
Yellow Stairs gets a swing. Good night. Thank you very much. Appreciate the first round.
I'm loving it. I'm loving the gameplay. There is some strap behind what they're doing. Though there was a little bit of rat play. I myself have been, I do not like the pro meta that is out and about. Each to their own.
Hey, look, each to their own, and moving forward, if I find another team with a uniform they're not allowed to use, I swear to God, I will ban you myself. Looks like you have some fans in the chat as well, Backbeard.
Oh, hello, people. Hello.
It's Backbeard.
Backbeard?
I think it was Damo who said hello to you in all chat. That's fantastic.
Okay.
He's such a big fan, he doesn't know how to spell your name.
Yeah, don't know how to feel about that one.
Use your Prime subscription. Don't know how I feel about that one.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by
Oh, good grief. And of course we're going down to basement. This is what I love. This is what I love.
Yes.
This is my site. This is where I typically would start my run. Make sure I get downstairs first. Get those reinforcements up on the wall. They've brought the Bandit as well, which makes sense. They've brought the Kaid to electrify the additional hatches. Makes total sense here in terms of their lineup. The Vigil for the Roam, the Mute Jammers, and the Jaeger Radius as well. I would have thought maybe a Wamai might have been an option here as well instead of the Jaeger, but personal preference. Some people like the M4, some people like the MP5K with the 1.5. Just a game with a game.
Yeah.
I do like the King's here as Damo takes himself out with a C4.
I don't know.
I don't even know. I just realised I had some.
Damo, mate. Damo.
Can you do me a favor, Blackbeard? If the next round, if one of their teammates has a skin on, they are officially out. And we'll move on to the next round. I'm gonna call it. King on the IQ, Annoyed on the Dokkaebi, and Hades on the Twitch as well. So we've got some DMR action, we've got some G8 running, we've got the Ace as well from T. Woodman. So combined, I think they're going to prove a pretty substantial issue as they go to. They've just realised that there's a Cade trick, so they can't get the Bandit batteries. Very, very smart. Never mind, they found one of them. Cade swings out to take that down. If they can get that second Cade claw off that wall, they should get that pretty easy. Down comes the second Cade claw. He's able to reposition that. Although Twitch does still have at least one of her drones. Has he got it?
He does not.
Hasn't timed it. The wall goes down. Very, very unlucky by JS Squad on the reposition of that Cade claw. Looks like the boys were absolutely ready for this. I think the 4 hours worth of scrimming by Keenan obviously definitely warm them up for this. K takes a slither of damage. Jaeger down to a quarter HP. He's down to, if the wind changes direction, I think Jaeger's going to have a very bad time. So Kinky positioning himself above Piano, getting that vertical stronghold, using that IQ gadget to make sure he gets all of that utility that he can from the top. This is a 5v4 essentially. I want to call it a 5v3. I mean, a gun is a gun whether you've got lower health or max health, but with Jaeger down so much, he's really not going to be able to do a whole deal aside from maybe hold an angle, because one bullet he's finished, and you know, Yes Chef are looking to make a significant comeback after the first round of getting, you know, smacked around a bit. So and that's that. Never mind. We're back to a 4v4. I'm going to stop giving the Caster Curse. Kicking was set up quite well, and the Vigil has absolutely done that G8 user completely out of action. So that's that vertical hold completely done. Brown Bag gets taken down as well by Nexus from, I don't even know how. He got an angle through the hole in Garage from pipes. When I was talking about before about holding angles, that's exactly what he did, and just simply waited for Brown Bags to walk into it. And that's what Brown Bags did. So that's GM to Brown Bags. Oh, he goes for this Noid with the DMR, that MK14 getting put to good use. That's Nexus down, but never mind, quickly refragged down by RD for Hayes. So that's the Twitch off the board. KG getting himself a double. That's the ace. It's now a 1v3 with 13 seconds left off the clock. All Luna has to do is swing, and GG's in the chat. That Vigil swing, though. I'm watching this in the replay because we didn't get to capture that.
No, we did not.
It was as easy as that. Good lord.
Exactly. Whew.
Now, I know everyone's at home going, oh, I wonder if someone's going to have another uniform change. And if they do, that will mean that Nexus 4D is out of the competition. Well, not out of the competition. Secures a place in the lower bracket. And the top team will go straight through to the upper bracket. I think we've given them more than enough chances in this instance. So, you know, the multiple letters, DMs, and rule set that they all agreed to, I thought was pretty clear. But hey, here we go. A change up in the lineup. They've completely changed up the lineup, to be perfectly honest. We've got a Ying, we've got a Zero, we've got a Capitao. Team skin.
Team skills. Yeah.
They've completely changed up the lineup, which is what I like to see. They're trying to adapt and work out what is the style that works for you, or works for this team. So they're bringing in the Capitao and the Zero. Now this is something that I haven't seen Zero strats. I haven't seen Zero strats before, so I'm keen to see how they utilize this operator, particularly on this site, being that they've gone down for lobby, which is, you know, one of two choices. I would have thought maybe a Talus hole, but a lobby piano is where they want to play, and this is a site that, you know, a Tachanka would have been perfect on, straight out of piano window, into spawn, couple of quick taps and pick yourselves up some cheeky spawn pigs. So the Melusi obviously coming out to stop that push straight into the front door. They've got Ella as well, using lines. I would suggest probably on a yellow stairs, or even on a spiral stairs to slow that push down. And if I was Yes Chef, I would be definitely looking for a top-down play here. Having the Ella potentially on the roam, or even a Jaeger doing Jaeger things. You're going to want to clear that top first before you even think about getting down into piano or main lobby to make a plant. So as we're talking about making a rotate or someone being a roamer, there is the Jaeger playing upstairs in connector with the alibi, just hanging out by pipes, just prone, just chilling, you know, having a quick beverage, just recapping on the last 2 rounds that was, and getting ready just to click some heads with the MX4 Storm. Alibi, that's exactly what you'd want to do. King playing on the vertical into yellow stairs, trying to get himself some cheeky line of sights. I'm not exactly sure what he's looking at, but hey, that's him, he's doing him, so appreciate you, King. On the Ying as well. Noid getting that Ash rush down. I believe that's Black Ice. And he, you know what? That kill was solely because he had Black Ice on that skin. If that R4C didn't have Black Ice, wouldn't have won that. That's the power of Black Ice.
Agreed.
So you all know, it's like it's not the rarest skin in Siege, right? But like the R4C Black Ice is definitely up there.
It's up there. It's definitely up there. Yeah. Super duper low.
Oh, the swing on the bottom of Spiral Luna. That is disgusting. Brown Bags is taken out, and the swing from Alibi on the bottom of Spiral, or the top of Spiral, depending on how you're looking at it. I'd be curious, anyone in chat actually know the drop rate on an R4C, like percentage-wise? Because I would be curious to know that. Mainly because I want to get one, and I just want to know how many purples I have to open before I get one. Unless you're 6 Pencil, who gets more purples in his pack openings than commons. But anyway, Artigos. The Ying Giants come out into billiards. They're trying to clear out that roaming Jaeger. Jaeger is definitely hovering around. Noid takes him out. That is the Jaeger off. Fantastic effort from the Ash doing Ash things. Goes for the triple as well. Managed to get them down on certain stairs. It's a 4v2. These guys are looking very happy and healthy for the win or the clutch on the 3rd round of this map. It's all up to the Malusi and the Mute, with everyone else except for the Noid looking happy on health, down to half on the Ash. But with a triple kill on his Rel, it's a pretty good trade. Half health for 3 kills, something that I could definitely live with. The King's dag down on the Ying, as they've got that vertical control, very nice and healthy. Unfortunately, Hades the Hobies, also known as Hades the Hobo. It's kind of a cross between Hobo and Homie.
It is. It really is. Yeah, Hades the Hobo.
Never mind. King takes down the Vigil, or the Mute rather. It's now a 3v1. 12 seconds left on the clock. They need to go for frags, and they need to go for a plant. They're going to swing in through main door, start that plant on the countdown. Here we go. The L from the Malusi swings. He lands himself 4K. Again, the power of the Black Ice never ceases to amaze me. Utilizing the Defender Shield to his own advantage as well. The man's
smart, very smart using that utility.
Now, Noid is classically a CSGO player. And when I say classically, it's probably one of the games that he has more hours in. So coming across the siege is not something that he does regularly. But when he does, oh my lord, rips a 4K out of nowhere. And I would be very surprised. And there he goes, sticking with the Ash again. He's landed himself a 4K. Let's not change what's not broken and continue on. And I feel that Oz, that the King choosing Blackbeard, this is targeted.
You know what?
This is targeted directly at you. They wanted to see you in game. So they brought you out.
I'm slightly worried. I will be judging harshly. You know what? What gun? If it's not the SR25, we will be having words, King.
I would be very surprised. I mean, I know King loves his DMRs. You know, questionable about his skill level on them. But he loves them, and I say that with nothing but love in my heart. He has brought the AR, which is great to see. We're going to be sticking with the 0 again on T Woodman, and it looks like we are going to be going back to CEO, back to top level. Now, this was brought down in the first round into a 1v1 situation, rather. The Bandit was able to catch out by swinging onto top of Yolo and taking out that remaining player. So I'm very keen to see how these guys adapted to new lineup and what they had. Noid's been putting in the work for these guys at the moment. So as long as he can maybe an admin or Yolo stairs and really start to push these guys back to site, I think they're going to get themselves a W right here. Looks like that a lot of these operators, the 4th dimension. I'm just going to go with 4D.
4D, yeah.
It looks like 4D have really allocated a lot of their team members to the top. I don't see a lot of active roaming, as you know, someone with maybe a Jaeger would expect to see. They're all situating themselves on top, which is why they're obviously they're suggesting to me that they're a bit more confident in their holds when they are not as spread out as before, and I guess that was maybe detriment to last round. They had 2 roamers stuck on top to try and slow down the push. Now, agreed that you would want to have some people upstairs for a vertical player or a vertical site like lobby and piano, but unfortunately didn't pan out too well with them. The push from top was pretty intense, and I don't think the guys were completely ready for the Ying Candelas coming in and taking out that Jaeger as well. So they've adapted to it. They've said, you know what, let's just here, guys. I want to secure this round, and that's how it's planned out. Alibi takes a little bit of damage from some explosives coming in at her face. And it looks like a pretty standard setup. You know, I've got someone hovering in admin, someone hovering in long desk, someone hovering CO, someone looking to hold around bathroom and yellow. Pretty standard setup. And when I say hovering around yellow, there's no one. There's no one hovering in yellow. And that Malusi has absolutely paid for that. Because she's rotated down, so they've actually dedicated some players to roaming. Now, again, I'd like to see it, but that was dirty. Oh, King, that was dirty. Oh, this is why Blackbeard should get banned on this map.
Holy shit.
That's so dirty. That was a one-tap?
That was a one-tap.
Oh, God, if someone in chat doesn't clip it and send it to his DMs later, he's going to be so upset with everyone. A great start from King. He gets himself a double kill. Noid on the Ash. The man's just a force to be reckoned with at the moment. The Blackbeard, though, does pay for trying to repeat the same angle 3 times. It is a 4v2 situation. King stepping up the game with the Blackbeard. Seems to be working out with that SR25. Now in a 4v2 situation. Alibi taking a lick of damage. King's really a one-tap at the moment. That MX4 points in his direction. He's completely done with. He swings out of just at the right time as they go for a rotate up through top yellow. There's T Woodman using that 0 to full effect. The spray and pray does take out King, and that's the drop defuse, but Sophia's there at the top of yellow to trade that out. Great round in chat. That was exceptionally well played for the boys, and I think they were warming up. When I say top yellow, I actually meant balcony. They're very similar in color. You know, it's like a tanned yellow, and that's not... I was trying to salvage that, and I did a terrible job of it. It's so bad. So that is the end of that round. So we're looking at a 2-2 with a couple rounds left in the play. And as we said earlier at the start, chat, this is a best of 1. So whoever who takes this round out will secure themselves in a spot in the upper bracket rather on Thursday night or Sunday night, as we are essentially splitting it across the 2 nights. And the losing team will secure themselves a spot in the lower bracket. Now, being in the lower bracket does not mean that you're out of the competition. It just means you've got to fight a little bit harder than the top bracket to secure a place into the semi-finals.
To get that look money.
But the way these guys are going, man, I have no doubt that they're going to put absolutely everything down that they possibly can.
And you know what? As you said before, basement on Consulate, one of my favorite sides to hold. And you know what? I love being the bandit. I just want this bandit, this J Squad guy, to do a little bit more bandit tricking and a little less roaming.
Yeah, well, they brought the bandit down last time, and they committed the Kaid to the garage wall as opposed to a bandit, which was an interesting play. I would have thought, to your point, bandit tricking makes a lot more sense, or even having the Kaid there as standby if the bandit batteries do go down, that the Kaid is able to come out and help stop that. So they're obviously learning, they're adapting to Yes Chef's playstyle. They've got the Jaeger ADSs out there as well to stop any of those grenades they want to try and throw in under that drone hole. So I think they're adapting and they're learning Yes Chef's playstyle. Keeping in mind that a lot of these teams that have joined the cup this time, they haven't played against each other. So it's going to take a couple of rounds for them to work out how these guys like to play, what their playstyles are, and how they can adapt the operator choice to that. So in terms of 4D, their lineup is very similar to last round. They're not trying to change that. They're obviously very comfortable with these picks, and I think a number of these make sense for this type of site. And again, King sticking to what works, right? Managed to pick him up a 2K on the Blackbeard, so he's going to continue with that. Ash goes to Noid. He's been doing exceptionally well. Hades on the Twitch, T on the Ace, and Brown Bags again sticking with what works on Zofia. So, being that they've only got one dedicated hard breacher though, that's one question. You know, if the Zofia or Twitch is unable to do their job, then they're going to have a lot of tough time trying to open this garage wall, and they're maybe going to have to look for a service stair push through the bottom of break or spiral stair and really adjust that plan. So, you know, I would have liked to have seen maybe rather than a Twitch and Maverick would have made a little bit more sense, because that Twitch has got a lot of batteries to deal with, and as I say that, he's taken out 2 of them with just 1 drone, and the bandit's having a really tough time shooting through, and he's waiting for that taser to regenerate, but never mind, it's taken out. So we've gotten 2 of the 4 batteries down, and they've got the wall because of that. Why? Because basic comms, they've taken out 1 battery. Oi, Ace, come get this wall open, and the job is done within a matter of seconds. So time management wise, excellent execution. Although Luna, can you pick up the Zofia on the top spiral? Are you going to see? He's going to swing. He hasn't seen it. He hasn't seen it. He hasn't seen it. What is happening? How did he not see that? How did he not see that? The Zofia from Brown Bags has just destroyed the Ella, and Luna's just casually ADSing through front lobby as the Twitch and the Blackbeard go down. He sees the swing. Either that's massive trigger control, or he did. Oh, please tell me he saw that. He has seen it. It's just trigger control. The Zofia has seen it as well, though. It's now 3v3 as T Woodman takes out the Muse. That's down for a double kill. They're right there. The Zofia swings hard. Big question marks as to what visual he's doing there. That's a swing.
Oh, my lord.
These boys are warming up.
Holy moly.
The Zofia Brown Bags is absolutely putting in work right here.
Almost bin that Ash, though.
Not only taking down the roam that was the Vigil, but the swing into bottom yellow was just perfect. Almost taking out Noid in the process. But hey, for the win, we'll take it, right? TK at the end with a 4v1. Not the end of the world, aside from maybe some pride getting kicked in the boys in the back
Now,
there, so.
just quickly, the Zofia and Ash was in Visa. The hatches were soft. There was no one underneath except for a Vigil, but he was in red looking towards garage. Easily could have Visa dropped. It does work if you're confident enough with hitting your shots. But in the end, it worked. In the end, their plan worked. They executed it well. That Vigil, if he was a little bit more aggressive, probably could have helped his team out a little bit, just a little bit more.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing, and I think everyone in chat sort of sitting there scratching their heads going, hang on a minute, what was all that about? Vigil just... I think at the start, I don't think he saw the Zofia because, as you can see, he was focusing the ADS into front lobby, and Zofia sort of rushed from top spiral. So the Zofia not seeing the Vigil either and doing your basic, you know, when you cross the road, what do? You check left and right, coming out of spiral and simply looking right and heading straight for it. You know, putting that tunnel vision on. That could have ended badly, but, you know, the Vigil wasn't aware either. And then simply just holding ADS as he wandered through the front lobby and then back down to yellow through Zulu. Unable to see Zofia. Zofia knew he was coming. Swing, click, done. Thank you very much. So,
5 seconds to go.
yeah, I'm a bit surprised. From a roamer, I would have thought there'd be a little bit more awareness. But right, everyone has those moments where they've just got tunnel vision on. They just don't see what's around them. They don't look the right way, and you know that's what happens. So, we're not seeing much adaptation in terms of lineup here. The guys are sticking with it. There's no real changes. Although Nexus has jumped on the Legion, bringing those goo mines or that utility to maybe give them some alerts should they be pushing from the rear again, either whether it's up through yellow or through a service stair entry or something like that. So just again that denial slowing them down a bit. As we know, the goo mines had a rework, so they don't instantly do damage. You'll hear the sound cue that the goo mine has gone off, but it won't start doing damage for a couple of seconds. So the guys are able to reposition themselves to remove that, as opposed to the initial damage that they would get, or someone just instantly swinging on them as soon as that sound cue went off. So I think most of these guys will be quite comfortable coming up against that. It's not an operator they haven't seen for many times before. So start of the push comes off with getting top yellow stairs completely open. Again, makes total sense. Watching that yellow hatch to make sure. Kinking on Repellent CEO. Getting quite aggressive here, using that DMR to his extent. He sees the foot, but he does miss the shot, unfortunately. If he didn't have that Blackbeard shield, my god, his head would have been removed 7 times by now. That Malusi is literally screaming at the screen. I can just see it. That's their hard breacher down, and the diffuser dropped outside of CO as well. Legion gets a run out, but he's quickly reframed. King takes him down. 1-for-1 trade. Having lost the ace, not a huge issue for this side. And as I say that, outswings Luna. That's King straight off CO window. That MX4, man. I told you, you point, you click, you're dead. It's as simple as that. So it's just a Magnum City. Ash, though, gets the refrag onto Damo. That's the Jaeger done with. So as it's almost like watching, like, aside from some questionable plays, CL in terms of the trades and how quickly they're coming out. So it's great to see the comms being flown, that they're able to rotate quickly to where the drops are being had, and they're able to refrag and capture those opportunities. So it is the Legion and the Jaeger off the board. It's now down to the Malusi, the Alibi, and the Mute. All sitting pretty in terms of health. The Twitch going to work getting rid of those Alibi traps, making sure they can't get spotted should they pre-fire through a window. They do have control of yellow and of bathroom, which is a really good position to be in. They can secure themselves either long desk or admin. They'll be looking good for a push. Now, as I said before, Twitch's having a really good time as the and as I say that, I swear this is you question
cast a curse? Yes.
Start to do it.
Yes.
Okay? It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. Twitch takes a solid spray down, gets Luna down to a bit of health, but the Sophia's there to trade that out. That is the Mute down. Unfortunately, Hayes could not click on the connector. It's now a 1v2 with 7 seconds left on the clock. Brownbag is going to have to go for those kills. Gets his AR out. He gets one to 1v1 with a second left to go. He goes for the spray, but he's unlucky and unfortunate. Could not collect that head. That site has once again come down to a 1v1. Some unlucky peaks and some unlucky angle holds, and that was the difference between a win and a loss for Yes Chef. So I don't want, you know, I'm very excited to see when you plan something in your head, right? and you start storyboarding and whiteboarding things,
Yep.
and you're like, hey, what's the fairest way we could make a community cup that teams participate in that they go up against other teams that are of equal skill level? And then you devise this plan, you spent 4 months building it, and then you see it in action, and you say, you know what, it actually worked. These teams are so equally matched right now that this is exactly what we wanted. We didn't want a landslide. A 7-0, as great as it is for the winning team, in terms of content, you know, like, okay, you're 7-0, that was great, next one please. This is just like, I don't know who's going to win at this point in time. Like, watching this, I don't know who's going to go
It's pretty even.
into the lower bracket. And this is what I want from Siege. I want that competition. These boys are fighting for it. They are absolutely fighting for it, and it's insane to see. And of course, we're at the halfway point now, so we do switch it up. Yes, Chef, on defense. 4D going on to the attack. Very keen to see how King and his lads set up their defenses and how they play this out. So they've opted for the garage site first. Again, makes total sense for me. This was the most successful site in terms of their attack. So they're obviously feeling pretty confident about going there for their defense. In terms of lineup, very similar to what 4D had brought before. We've got Brown Bags who's obviously going to be on the roam. We've got a Malusi, Jaeger, Mute, and a Bandit. So making sure that we've got that wall denial as well as the backup of the Mute makes total sense.
Are heading out to defuse a bomb.
The attacker team, though, don't bring in the Kali. First time in the cup, and I know we're only 6 rounds in, but it's the first time we've seen a Kali brought out so far. Her Lance, obviously, being something that can take out those electronics that are in denial. And of course, the SR that she's able to use gets King down to a slither of health. My God, someone's an AWPer in CSGO because that clip was out of control as King is really proning and praying that Kali rotates off of this position. And doesn't want to fire of it, so he's just going to hold there down to essentially one tap. Brown Bags though is coming to his rescue as he's going to rotate aggressive on the Kali. He manages to get the pick as well. It's now down. That's the Kali finished with before that utility is even able to be used. An excellent rotation from the Vigil, and obviously great comms from the boys to come to support that Malusi roam without any real question. So Ash on the Nexus, on the Ash rather, holding main lobby, he's definitely going to think, you know what, I'm going to rotate. There's 2 people here. I can't outplay this, so I'm going to rotate down and support my guys down at the bottom of yellow. So looks like the garage wall is open as well. The guys are getting set up for the push, waiting for the time with a minute 50 left on the clock. So still plenty of time in the round, you know, to get a pick within the first not even 60 seconds. It's a pretty strong start for defenders. And as I say that, that's Hades down. I need to stop talking because this is the caster curse. What?
You've got power now.
Hades, I'm sorry.
Stop abusing it.
If it's any consolation, BB decided to pick you as someone to watch, so I feel it's his fault as much as it is mine. As the mute comes off the board, there it is again, the swing, and that's Noid on the Jaeger, doubled by the Ash. How does it feel, Noid? Doesn't feel so good getting shot in the face by an R4C, as he's just experienced. 4v3 with the wall open. That's a great shot by, was that T. Woodman on the MP7? Knocking down for a second. Can he hit? No, he can't. Oh my God, he just does a slither of damage on the Zofia. Great angle held. Brown Bags gets knocked down, but does get picked up. This is really a 3v1 at the moment because Brown Bags and King are so low on health. They have to use some of that utility to get the revive done. Brown Bags, Silver, you know what? I see you've done the revive. I'm going to delete him. So that's it. The ace is now done with. It levels it out to a 3v3. Everyone's bleeding in health except for the Bandit. Brown Bags gets found out. He's YOLO. That's the Ash getting to work. The swing comes in. Malusi gets dropped down now. It's now down to a 1v1. The trades have come out. It's up to a full health T. Woodman and Ash. I don't want to be skeptical here. This is something that's completely winnable with 19 seconds left on the clock, but having that full HP, Bandit is hard staring at the back of yellow. Does he know? Does he? I don't know. He's gone for the barricades. He's swung on him. Absolutely out of control, T. Woodman.
Beautiful.
I want to look at that flick. He hears the footsteps. Here's the barricade getting broken. Spray and pray and absolutely removes him from the game. If that's not a fist bump moment in comm, I don't know what is.
It
the
is.
1v1 clutch. Oh my Lord.
You know, and it's not just that. They put that bulletproof camera on that wall where you wouldn't expect it. The Ash past it, not having. They can't do anything. You melee it, they're going to know exactly where you are. He went straight for that door, and you know his team's just like, hey, he's just about to smack left hand side of the door. Your right side, prepare, aim, and just headshot.
That's exactly right, and you know, full credit to anyone who plays Consulate. You know, barricading off bottom of spiral like that, particularly if you're going to be holding on pipes, pretty default thing to do. It gives you that awesome sound cue in terms of where they're sitting, etc. So that really was the decider from the round. Obviously, the cam was there to assist in that, and using whether it be a yellow ping or they've just audibly said, "Oi, he's bottom of yellow," has definitely won the round for them there.
Attackers
So
need to locate and defuse bombs.
an excellent result for the guys. And now sitting pretty at 4 and 3, moving into round 8, a couple more rounds under the belt, and they're looking to secure themselves the first win of the Community Cup, 3 matches tonight as they move up to Consulate and to Office. This would make sense for a second side. I'm hoping I see a Tellers hold on this site, because that's a site that I love to watch people play, just from the verticality of it all.
Tellers?
Having a Pulse
Split?
or a Valkyrie, obviously Valkyrie banned in this instance, but having that C4 utility up through the floor in Tellers, having someone
5 seconds
above, just
left before
the
insertion.
holds and the angles you can get on that side is just, it's filthy siege, and it's the
Attackers'
best kind of
objective is
siege.
to locate a bomb and defuse it.
I digress though, they have picked to go up top, which makes sense for them. King changing out for the mute with the shotgun, get those rotation holes done. Noid sticking to the Jaeger, so clearly he's defining himself with an Ash Jaeger main. Legion coming out as well, and the Rook from T. Woodman getting that armor. It's not something that I see regularly in terms of even ranked play, to be honest. And well, you know, I'm gold, so I see Rook a
Bomb
lot.
located by attackers.
When it comes to this competition sort of stuff, it's not an operator that you see. So be interesting to see having that that MP5, whether that's going to make up some difference for the guys, being it does have a 2x available to it, getting that range. T. Woodman, though, if you click down a little bit, that is, oh my lord. Hades, you had it. You just
Hades.
we can see the outline, but they obviously can't. As the fear getting very aggressive on that hold. King taking a slither of damage on long desk, making sure to maintain that yellow hold. And of course, Nexus going up onto the roof as Twitch. Again, yeah, the 40 boys not looking to change too much. They have brought a sledge. For a top hold, again, aside from maybe opening some hatches or some rotations, I don't see a huge use for the sledge in terms of verticality. Obviously, having the nades, though, that's something. And out of all of the operators they've chosen, he's the only one to have that sort of utility to remove those potential Malusi traps or you know, Legion mines, etc. So, as I say that, though, the frags completely come out. We're in a 2v5. I'm trying to have a conversation here, gamers. Can you slow it down a little bit? The trades come out. That's no doubt with. It's a 1v5. Are they going to flawless this round? It's looking very strong for 4D at the moment, and it is flawless round.
Great
In a
round.
matter
Great
of
round.
60 seconds, they have dealt with the entirety of the defending force. The Rook obviously just, yeah, that, ouch. Not making a difference at all to any of the defending team. So I'm going to suggest that the Rook will be traded out and they'll look to rotate off that site. That was not the team that we'd seen so far. Yes,
No.
not very good on that site at all, unfortunately. So, and when I say rotate off the site, they want to rinse and repeat it. They want to try it again.
Their only
Change it up.
Their only mistake I could suggest was there's not enough admin control. That back admin control needs to be held. Yes, they had the Legion there. He was dealing with the Zofia out on balcony, which allowed the Ash to come up those Visa stairs and sit there halfway, while 2 of them came and repelled straight into the back of admin, picking off that Legion. It's just... yeah.
Sorry, I want to give a round of applause to Brown Bags for bringing a Frost.
What?
I'm so happy that he did that. If we can get someone getting caught in a Frost mat, like, I think I'd cry. I think I would cry. So a very interesting choice. I don't want to say I don't see this being successful, but I just don't see this being successful. Frost mats are one of those things, right? Like, particularly this, not want to say this level of gameplay, but these guys are aware, right?
Yeah.
There's only so many spots you can hide a Frost mat where you can see it comfortably from a mile away. So we'll see what these guys can put out. I'm excited to see it, but I don't see it being totally successful,
No.
especially on a spot like that in admin.
Exactly.
You're going to be rappelling vertically anyway to open up those windows. You're going to see a Frost mat. You're going to shoot it out.
They're going to be...
double strap.
Yeah.
The double strap might have worked, like putting them...
Oh, yep. Yeah.
vertically or horizontally.
Yeah.
Maybe, but
Either way, though, they're going to be heavily droning out that back area. So Frostmat's back there, exactly what you said.
Yeah, and to your point as well, not having someone allocated to that admin hole, I definitely think was not ideal. And no one in billiards or games as well, they have dedicated someone manually to that admin hole, which is the Jaeger. There is no one playing behind that table though in games. And Carly has free sight and has absolutely collected King on top of YOLO. When we talk about line of sight, oh my lord, that is dirty gameplay. King would have had no idea that 12 is getting put in use. Oh, can he? Oh, he gets the double! Oh, my God. Legion, thanks for playing. How does it feel to get one tapped in the back of the brain? I'm going to assume not great. That Carly is getting put to work, and Damo has absolutely fired up. And I can see Carly becoming part of the lineup for the entirety of this attacking half. It's now down to the 3v5. They flawless them last round. They're looking very good at the moment for a potential flawless second round. I do like the fact that they traded out for a Ramai just to deny any of that ability, so it'll be ace charges or the grenades. The Jaeger, though, getting pressured in admin. He's heard the drone now. He's going to have to hold. He doesn't see the swing, and that is Ash, or rather the Sophia, taking care of the Ramai. The Jaeger getting the happening so quickly. Carly just simply yeets in, just pushes in on the Frost and absolutely removes it from the game. And that's the second flawless round, back to back flawless round. Whatever 4D are doing, it's working. Yes, Chef, get away from this site. Don't do it again. This is not the play style that we have seen from you tonight. So you need to get away from this site and switch it up.
Now, just quickly, peeking a Carly a second time. It's like peeking a Glaz on presidential plane. Am I right? You hear the shot come through the window. What, you gonna stick it on? What's going on out there? Sticking your head out the window?
That's one of those moments where you're just like, oh, I reckon I can get him. No, I couldn't get him. Sorry, boys. You can't do it. Don't pick a Carly like you don't pick a Glaz. Especially from the same angle, because all Carly had to do was hold right click and not move, and has scored himself a double. So, you know, I give credit to King. There's no way he was going to know that shot was coming in his brain. But the Legion swinging onto it, very questionable, and cost them a second player or a second gun. So 4D have stepped it up, double flawless round. Yes, Chef not wanting to allow them to repeat that, so they move back to the site that they won, which again was in that 1v1 situation. Bandit clutched out the top of pipes, going down back into garage, because this has been probably their strongest site so far. In terms of lineup, King brought the Maestro. This is a very, I want to say, PL lineup. You've got the Mute Jammers, you've got the ADSs, you've got the Bullet Hose that is the older, you've got the Vigil on the roam, potentially backed up by a Jaeger. This makes total sense in terms of lineup. We've got Sophia, Carly, Ash. A very standard lineup. A very standard lineup for the boys. So they're not wanting to fix what's broken. Okay, they're not wanting to fix what's broken.
Now, just quickly here, you see the hole that's just above piano? Generally, the attackers make that hole so they can get the batteries. Defenders can make that hole as well. If they hold that south side looking towards the north side, it gives them a nice angle onto that yellow. But that Vigil needs to hold this site, this area. As soon as he dies and leaves that, it's GG.
Yeah, I think the Vigil there, really, he's going to have to burn time, and just by simply being there, you know, for some people enough, that is a 4,000 IQ play.
That is King, that is
brilliant.
That is amazing.
He hasn't committed a gun there. What he's done is he's committed an evil eye there from the very top of CEO Hatch. Now, if you're an attacking team, the first thing you're going to think of is, oh no, someone's playing on piano when you push the verticality. You're not going to think, hang on a minute, there's an evil eye at the very top. And when we're talking about roamability and the strength of this site, Brown Bag collects himself a win, or sorry, a kill, and that's on the Ash as well, who was so detriment to the rounds earlier. So that is a very, very good pick early on in the round. That is quickly fragged out by the Carly, though. Brown Bags have been dealt with. He's managed to burn himself just shy of a minute. So, I mean, look, depending on which way you want to look at it, I think it's a pretty successful hold from Alibi. You know, 2 for 1, not ideal, or sorry, 1 for 1 is probably the best scenario you can ask for there, and that's secured them that piano control. So, King. Oh, oh no. And then the
Bomb
downward
located by
spiral
Zach.
happens very quickly. That's a double for the Zofia. Goes for the C3, goes for the C4. Is unable to land at Nexus and on absolute fire right now. And just clutches out of nowhere.
Now,
the Zofia from Bacchus server dropping down, one tapping the Maestro, dealing with whoever was prone, and then the mute, that was the Jaeger rather, and the mute holding bomb so closely. That's a rush and a half right there.
Quickly, I'd love to give a shout out to King. That play, when prepared right, is big brain. He needed that hole a little bit more towards the white band, which is your default hold, yeah? That's why you saw him, kept running from his spot to the front of the white van and checking every now and then. That's why he got caught out. And it comes to a point, once your prep time's over, you don't move from your spot. You don't bother. If it doesn't work, that's the end of it. Move to something else.
And to have, you know, an older or a Maestro prone, I'm assuming on cams, to have a Jaeger watching the opposite direction and having a third in the mute in break room. So that's 3 people dedicated to one room. Unable to successfully challenge that Sophia. That's either going to be one or two things. Breakdown in comms. Or it happened also faster than they were able to react quickly, because to lose 3 players to one of the game that was next to machine stuff up a triple kill that round. You got to question, right? Like, what was the strategy? Where were the communication? Where was someone holding, you know, either in pipes that they were able to sprint around, or, you know, someone even potentially holding this far back as server, or another in the roam. So, you know, as a Jaeger doing Jaeger things, I would have, you know, preferred to have seen, if I, against me playing it out, to have a Jaeger on roam rather than simply holding sight with 2 others. It doesn't make sense to
Agreed.
that many operators to one. We digress, and this is now match point. 4D looking very good and very happy and healthy to take out the final round for tonight. We'll see how this plays out. Again, no change up to the lineups. They know what works and they're happy to stick to it. King wanting to try again with his 4,000 IQ play. A big shout out to this guy. Now, I just want to make some notes again. Massive shout out to Phoenix, who's pumping data. And when I say pumping, he's updating this spreadsheet like an absolute animal. The roam was cleared at 1:47. So we're talking just on 60 seconds to make sure that roam is cleared and that they are good for the push. So when we talk about roam clears, probably not the strongest of holds. When we look at the average, I guess, for the night, and as I talk about roam clears, Brown Bags picks himself up a double. Brown Bags, you know what? Bravo, sir. You've taken my information that I've just given you, and you've gone, you know what? I'm gonna check your spreadsheets. I'm gonna get myself an almost triple kill. Almost triple kill. From simply holding up top. So that brings the Sledge down half health. That's the Ash and the Ace. That's their hard breacher dealt with. That is a massive pick. 4v3 with 1:50 less on the clock. So it's less than 60 seconds have expired, and they've already dropped 2 characters, one being the hard breach. That wall is not coming down. Simple as that. They now need to commit themselves to frags and a different rotational push, which they're going to do from back of servers. Now, if you're the defending team, you've got to know this is what worked for them last time. You have better have someone, which they do. Jaeger committed to servers. Very smart play. New holding upstairs. Harry Potter, whatever you want to call that section upstairs there. King gets taken out by the Carly, though. KG takes out the Noid. And before you know it, a 2v3 is on the cards. Holy moly. And we were talking about consistency. 1:45 to clear that roam, which is 2 seconds slower, 2 seconds faster rather than the previous one. 2 seconds slower, I want to say. The mute hearing 2 points in yellow. All the mute has to do is swing now. The comms have to be coming out. The C4 comes out. Can he get the double? He gets himself a single kill. The Carly takes no damage. It's just siege thing. Now a 2v1. He goes for the spray. Haynes picks himself up the Carly. It's now the Sledge. It's a 1v1. Haynes, if you've ever been to clutch, now is your time. Sledge is half health, and with that SMG 11, he's running at a 210. Haynes needs to redeem himself. The comms have to be coming out. Bottom of spiral. The Sledge goes to rotate. They've got the diffuser down as well. This is going to work to their strategy here. The question is, though, will he see the Sledge rotate? Goes for the pre-fire. Mute still holding position, not wanting to look away. Sledge knows he's there. He knows he's there. There's no holes there, so he throws the grenades out. Doesn't get himself any damage because that soft wall is still intact. He's going to swing wide. He's ADSing. This is 15 seconds left on the timer in a 1v1 clutch. The diffusers come up. He goes to the spray with the SMG-11. It doesn't connect any of the shots. Haynes, now is a time. You do have to push up. He's going to stick that diffuser with 5 seconds left. He goes for the swing behind Bridge. He goes for it. He clutches it out. Haynes the hobo in that 1v1.
Beautiful.
Man, I've got goosebumps from watching.
Beautiful.
If you ever wanted to see a man clutch with that
Holy.
SMG, that is control. That is control on that SMG.
Holy.
Playing at home. That is recoil city, and he made it look easy.
Now, just quickly, there was two at the back of that server side there, Carly and one other, the one that got caught by the C4.
Yep.
Easily should have been able to tell that C4 came from behind.
Yeah, totally. And I think the Carly had committed themselves to a front peak, dealing with another aggressive angle, so didn't have time to react potentially. Definitely could have seen that C4 come from behind. Again, sound, audio, question mark, but a massive play from Hades. To be perfectly honest, I don't know how that C4 didn't get a double.
You know what?
That
Me
was
neither.
within, that
Me
was within
neither.
striking range of the Carly, unless she swung out just wide enough to hit it behind the bottom of service stairs. I'm not too sure, but you know, here it is. Here we are, 1v1 clutch, and Hades has pulled one out for the team. He's sitting on a 3-2-10, so you know, not a hugely impressive scoreline, but you know, his 3 kills have come at the cost of winning rounds. So if you're going to want anyone to have a kill count, it better be at the cost of some wins, and that's exactly what Hades has done. So an excellent return from these guys. 5-6. Are they going to take this to OT? The very first game of the night. We had allocated an hour for each game. We've got 10 minutes left, so boys, if you're going to do something, now's the time to do it. Otherwise, we're already running behind, which is a great way to start the night. And this is exactly what I want to see. This is evenly matched season. I know I said this earlier, but this is evenly matched season. These guys are fighting for it. The trades are coming out so quickly. There's no kill going without a refrag, which is exactly what you want to see from these guys. So the comms are there, their setups are there, and they know what they're doing. It just comes down to a question of execution and how the attacking team works together. So they've opted for a lobby piano hold. I guess, look, out of all of the sites, I would have probably suggested a teller hold, which would have been a bit more harder to push, having, you know, a pulse C4 ability from that vertical that I've talked about. And Ace, what?
Oh no!
You have Ace charges. Why would you do that? Why would you use a brick?
Just don't question
That's one of those like Keck wait moments where you're just like, what? What?
You've got a Sophia, you've got an Ash. Like,
it's just one of those moments where you can look back in the VOD and go, I don't know what I was thinking. I just went with it, and it didn't pay off. So that's Ace off the board. That's a hard breacher who got denied on the castle barricade by getting shot in the feet when he went to use one of his breaching charges instead of the utility that he's equipped with. So a bit of a forehead moment, but here we are. That's now down to a 5v4. Yes, Chef, I'm feeling pretty confident with the start. That's also the AK off the board, probably one of the best ARs in the game currently, particularly with that 2x. Noid on the roam to the back of long desk, doesn't land any shots. The attacking team member does. Twitch as well. Oh my lord, KG picks himself up a solid shot. The Sophia takes out the Wamai as well. So before we've even said anything, that advantage they have has been quickly drilled down to a 4v3. Castle, however, bleeding Sophia down to half health, so at least trying to get something back. And as we were talking about refrags before, out it comes. Brown bags onto Twitch from the bottom of server stairs, rather, in admin Talos area. So that's a great solid pick in 3v3. You could even argue say it's a 3v2 with the Sophia down to half health, although she does have that self-pickup ability. Kinking as well, down to half health through that softball. Fantastic comms. Brown bags picks himself up another. The man's going 13-8. If there's anyone who's carrying this team right now, it is Brown bags. He managed to clutch out an ace on the very first time that we played this community cup, and he's looking very strong. And as I say that, he dies. We don't want to talk about it, so we move forward. KG gets himself Vigil at the top of service stairs, rather. And we're now into a 2v2 situation with 29 seconds left on the clock. The round almost completely expunged. The diffuser has been dropped though. The diffuser is down. We have a diffuser at the top as well. Oh my god. It is at the top of sight. So Sophia and Sledge have to rotate up to then rotate down to get on the site to plant or go for frags. That's King taking out KG. It's a 2v1 Damo. If you can clutch this out, you'll be known as the clutch god with 4 seconds left. He's not going to win this. We are going to go to OT for our very first game of the night.
Oh boy.
Here we go, boys and girls.
Here we go.
Go get a beverage, recline your chairs, because we are in for a goddamn long night, and I could not be happier to say that as we go into overtime on Consulate for the first game of the evening. Now, there's a couple of things that we want to comment on there in terms of how things played out. And I think, you know, 4D retaking that top floor control, the roam clear came at a minute 34. Now, when we look at the previous rounds of a minute 47, a minute 45, a minute 50, etc., it took a lot longer for 4D to get control of that roaming, those roaming operators, so whether it be the Vigil or the Jaeger, and that came at the cost of 2 operators. So it's one of those things that, being that they're back on defense now, and obviously 4D are on attack, they're gonna have to make sure that they speed up their roam clears. I think this is what's really letting them down.
Defenders,
in
protect your bombs from being
the
defused
taking
by
of the
attackers.
site, is just having Noid on the Jaeger and even brown bags on the a real big issue for these guys. Another question mark: why are they picking this site? Of all the sites why this site? It's OT, Archives, Lobby, there's so many other options. This has been their weakest site from Yesterday. They lost both times they come here in an absolute clean sweep. Of the, one of them was
Bomb located by attackers.
There's a number of sites that were stronger for them, so I don't know the process of coming here, particularly on OT. However, as OT works, it'll be these guys starting on defense, then moving to attack, and then defense again if it does go max OT. So they get 2 cracks of defense should that switch to max OT. So Maestro again, fortunately doing a bit of damage with the grenade. It happens. Wrong angle, wrong click, bit too close. All done it. I love the play. I'm just yet to see it pay off. It keeps doing the same thing, and it has not paid off once.
Was about to say.
I'd like to see the Maestro maybe changing position. Don't hold in break room. Hold at a different angle. Hold in the room next to it. I don't know, computers or whatever you want to call it, archives, etc. Play in a different room if you're going to sit on your cams, because it has unfortunately come at the cost of the last 2 rounds you held in this site. And I believe from memory that King was one of the first 2 picks to come off as well, so he just needs to make sure he's aware of that. Vigil on the roam, totally agree with this. You've got a 4-man dedication to top. Are we going for a rush here? Are we going to see a rush? Vigil gets 1, he's going to rotate off. That's the sledge completely gone. That's your verticality almost destroyed. They still have, actually, I retract that, they have a number of operators. I like the adaptation here. They've brought the Hibana because they lost their hard breach last round first time. They lost the ace early on, which came at the cost of the round, so they've adapted to this. They've brought a second hard breach or a secondary hard breach in the Hibana, so they do have those Hibana pellets to carry if they need to. Ash and the ace securing top floor control as Hibana's going to rotate up spiral. Interesting push. They're not opting to go for the wall. They're going to look for a middle down hole or middle down push, trying to clear out as much of that roam as possible. Minute 27 left on the clock, and the Vigil is still roaming. These guys are not moving quick enough to adapt to get rid of that Vigil. He's going to prove a pestilence round. As I say that though, he's deleted. So, you know, everything I just said in the last 7 seconds, it's irrelevant now. Thank you for proving my point, Ash. Hades with a beautiful C4 onto Nexus. That is the Ash completely dealt with. Brown Bags is obviously off the board. Brings it down to a 4v3 in OT. This is a much better hold. Noid getting that extra kill onto the ace now. It's all down to Hibana and Sophia. If I ever want to talk about how you change your sight holds on a defense, these boys are looking so strong on this garage hold right now. It is insane. 4v2, 43 seconds left on the clock. They have definitely... Maestro has to have heard that sound cue. Or is he sitting on drones?
He was.
He's sitting on a drone. He hasn't heard the sound cue. He has. Okay, he's heard that sound cue. The comms have come out. He knows someone's will be effective in break room. The bullet hose comes out, but Damo is just better. Gets himself a pick onto mute in break room. Can the Olga do anything? Goes for a 3-5 spray. The name comes out. The swing from John.
Located by attackers. Attackers
The
have dropped
trade
the bomb.
from out. It's now down to a 2v1. All up to Hibana with the bearing 9. 13 seconds left on the clock to get a double kill. This is going to be very, very lucky he can get this. He gets the knock. 6 seconds left on the clock.
Oh.
He's going to take it against the Older, and King clutches it out with the bullet hose. 81 rounds, 81 tries, and he manages to pick it up on at least one of them with a spray through a softball as well on a yellow ping. My lord, that, you know what, that looked like it was going to be an easy clutch, and it came down to a 1v1 because Hibana took out the Jaeger on Spiral with a flick that happened in a matter of seconds. So massive credit to the 4D boys for taking them to town. However, that does mean Yes Chef do take this round out. Refreshing. We do move to attack, and a Fuse comes out. We know Fuse is there. Why? Because he wants to flex the elite skin on us, which we do certainly allow. Which, never mind, he's going to change it out because he realized that we don't allow it, actually. He's going for the Ash instead. Noid, you're a very clever boy. Very, very clever boy. And we do see a very similar lineup. Ash not wanting to keep anything different. He uses the 6-pick quite wisely. The boys think that there's a Fuse coming into play. It's actually an Ash. Damo equipping himself with the Jaeger. No massive change to Nexus. We see a dock. Now, are we going to see a spawn peak with the dock is the question. They've gone for a CEO hole, which would make me believe that, hey, there's a spawn peak coming. Is it going to be from CEO window? Is it going to be from the back of yellow? Where is it coming? Because there's only one reason you bring a dock to CEO, and that's a spawn peak. Sorry, maybe it's my hard stuck gold brain at work, but that's why you do it.
Going up.
We can see King sticking to the Blackbeard, which has worked out so well for him on the rounds previously, repelling on CEO window, managing to collect himself a double kill earlier in the night. Noid, again, Ash Jaeger main just does one thing, which is 5 seconds W and wins. And we do have a hard breach just on the off chance they need it for long desk or admin, etc. So pretty solid lineup. Very keen to see how these boys go about it. King takes out T Woodman. I don't know what happened there. I really don't know what happened there. Whether that was an accident or whether that was a wrong skin, I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, okay, for sure. Yeah, alright, I'm not gonna question it. It happens. King's down to half health. So, yeah, this is Remember when I said we do things differently? This is why I say we do things differently in this community cup. Because you just look at something and go, but why? But why? So King down to half health. They're already off to a very rocky start. This is going to end in two ways. This is going to be Yes Chef clutching it out, securing a place in the upper bracket, or this is going to be going to NexusOCE, which Yes Chef will switch to defense, and fingers crossed clutch themselves out a win. So fourth dimension in a very happy and healthy position right now, with a full 5-stack, full health, and the dock with all the 2 stim pistols rather, able to heal his team should they need it. Ash positioning himself on top of yellow stairs, the black ice, the R4C black ice. And I promise you, because he has that, you know, the chance of winning increases dramatically.
He has done well there.
It's the luck of the black ice skin. It increases dramatically.
He has done very, very well there, Noid. I'm kind of sad there's no Kali.
Yeah, it's an interesting change. You know, the attackers obviously, I mean, Yes Chef, they haven't picked a Kali before.
Yeah.
So not comfortable in her playstyle or her utility rather. That's the doc dealt with. Can they confirm it? No, they can't. They get the Jaeger down though instead. So they still do get a pick. The doc does get himself up. Obviously he has that self-stim pistols. King takes out KG. That's a Legion off the board as well. He was one of their top fraggers, so they're already looking good. They've brought it down to a 4v3. King getting himself some really good couple of picks, considering how low health he is. Using that Blackbeard shield to his full advantage. KG's only taking down a quarter health. He does get sprayed down though from what looked like Connector, and it was by the dock. He knows someone's top. He's gonna go for the spray. Oh, that's a headshot if I've ever seen it. Whoa, did you line up for that one, Paige? Holy moly. It's now down to 2v3. Their advantage that they once had is completely gone in a matter of seconds. We've got 30 seconds left of the clock to clutch this out. Malusi proving they've got 3 men dedicated to this one window. Sophia, I don't know how you're going to get through this, and neither does Noid, because that's the Ash completely dealt with by the dock. So we're now down into a 3v1, 15 seconds left. He's got to be using this time. He's going, you know what? We need some time to reset. We're going to have some comms. I'm not going to be able to win this, so just full send it, see what happens. And that's a 4D win if I've ever seen one. So we're going to be going to Max OT, chat. This is the first game of the night, and we're already here. If this happens for the next 2 games, I'm going to go get myself a coffee in between.
Oh, yes, indeed, indeed.
No, but this is exactly what we come here for. Very excited for these boys. They're putting in work, and they are showing up that they are here to game. And Damo, as much as we would love a draw, I don't think Yes Chef are going to agree to that, because that means that they do miss out on that upper bracket position. And there you go. So Hades can't draw. He doesn't have the, what's the word that the when you can't use a pen? There's a word for it. You know when you get your pen license in like primary school, there was a license you used to have to get. Or is that just
yeah, no, yeah.
That's the thing.
No, I
have to get you.
I don't know. Is it still a thing?
Do you have to get your pen license still? The teachers go, you know what? Stuff it. You just have a pen.
I mean,
just don't draw on your face.
I mean, I remember when I tried to get my pen license, they wouldn't give it to me, but I said, fuck you, I'll get one anyway. I'm going to use a pen anyway. So...
I got this image of you in primary school when you're like 6.
Yep.
3 foot nothing, but you've got this beard.
Yep.
And this slick back hair. So you're like 7 years old, and you've got like a beard of a 25-year-old man. So when the teacher's like, Aussie, this drawing, I don't think, and then all you do is give them that look with the beard, and they're like, you know what? That drawing you just made of that Santa Claus, fantastic. Not even going to question the fact that it's not even red. A triple plus. Just don't call it the beard.
We go to the same school, what? Didn't we went to the same school?
Yeah, honestly, that's amazing. I knew I'd seen your face before. As we go to interesting pick, Chef. Interesting pick of all the sites.
Yes.
You go to lobby and piano.
Yes.
I know this is a successful hold for you guys, but this is a very interesting pick of Max OT. The winner of this will go through to the upper bracket. Loser goes through to lower bracket. King adjusting though and bringing the castle. I'm assuming for the castle barricades as he's playing on top, having the super shorty, opening the rotatability, or the verticality rather, not rotatability, the verticality, which we're seeing now, makes total sense. The rest of the lineup stays completely the same. Noid sticking on that Jaeger, playing Ash Jaeger main, brown bags on the Vigil on the roam. So it looks like we're going to see a Jaeger and potentially a Vigil roam. Even Castle committing to a top 4 hold as well. So the boys have brought one hard breach and swapped it out for the Nomad. Love this idea. I love this idea. This is adaptation to make sure that the rotates that they know that Yes Chef can do is not stopped rather. Sophia getting a very early pick onto Noid. That's less than 60 seconds into the round, and I don't even think Noid knew what hit him there. So a very, very solid start for the boys on Max OT. And we don't want... I know I keep talking about roam clears before, and when we say, hey, it needs to be picked up, you know, they've started off this round really good, but when we look at the average of the last couple of rounds, we're talking at, you know, a minute 20 or so for them to clear before, you know, in terms of time, so it's down to a minute 20 left before those roams are completely cleared out. So, you know, 4D really need to speed it up, which is what they're doing now. They've got the Jaeger. Castle, though, does take out the Sophia, a fantastic spray. The worst gun in the game. Managed to take down Sophia, who was doing exceptionally well in the 10-10. She'll have to sit out, or he'll have to sit out rather, for the remainder of the round and go on to cam duty. As we level the playing field in a 4v4 with a minute 20 left on the clock. I love how Kinky is actively playing top though. He's not retreating. He's giving something these guys to drone out. A heavy admin push. I like the way that they're doing this. They're full east clear through to top of admin. King's just simply burning time. A minute left on the clock and they don't even have top 4 control yet. They need to pick this up. Does he know the admin though? He's gone for the spray. This doesn't look like he's going to make this one out alive. No, it doesn't. The swing is there. That is completely dealt with. That's the Nomad with the ARX 200 taking him out. T Woodman and Hades are now retreating back to site. They know they've got a hold. It does mean that 4D have that verticality control. It's a question though of what Vigil can do to slow that push down. I don't know if anyone knows he's coming. Never mind. Ash does. Deletes the Vigil off the board. 2v4. Never mind. 2v3. They simply drop the hatch. They drop the hatch. If that's on the send, it's a 1v2. They're going to put the plant down. 19 seconds left on the clock. The Legion has to rotate, but he doesn't have the time.
GG.
Sledge taking out Hades from the bottom of Spiral. If that's not comms, I've never seen it. GG is well played. Max OT for the very first night tonight, very first game rather. 4D are our winners. And they move through to the upper bracket with Yes Chef going into the lower bracket later on in the week. The kill feed is lit up, and once again, Brownbags with a 14k. What an absolute slog. I mean, when we look at the play styles and I guess the spread of kills, like these boys really did well. There was no, I guess, hard carry in inverted commas of gamers that you go, you know what? He's lifting up the team. He's the one that's carrying that team. He's doing all the work because the kill feed was so spread out. It was as simple as that. The kill feed is so spread out. You know, Brownbag's proving his worth time and time again on that Vigil roam and just continually clutching out for the boys, which was really, really good to see. I guess guess one of the downfalls, and I know I've mentioned this a number of times tonight, is 4D's roam clears. You know, it took an exceptionally long time for these boys to get control of site, particularly even last round. Albeit, yes, you know what, they clutched it out. The 20-second meta was there, but it took almost a full 2 minutes to secure top floor control from the castle and the Jaeger. And castle being the king, you know, in the king, or king being the castle, proved a real pesky nuisance to the boys, where they had to commit 4 operators to an east push just to get to deal with the castle in totality. So yeah, a massive turnaround for those boys. So GG's and all, fantastic game to start us off for the evening. That is Yes Chef and 4D. As I said, Yes Chef slopped himself into the lower bracket, 4D into the upper bracket. We get prepared for our next match of the night, which is Match Point versus Blue Balls. I will never get tired of saying that name.
Okay.